Let's talk about stats, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about stats. Let's talk about stats. Let's talk about stats. Let's talk about stats.
Hello everyone, Frago here. Welcome to Let's Talk About Stats, where I casually talk about the new unit stats and then do a brief summoning session at the end of the episode. Today we will be looking at this year's Halloween-themed banner, a Monstrous Harvest.
I am so serious about my tricks. You'll want to give me a treat.
Treat Harvester Ileana. She comes in at just her second ever blue armor mage in the game ever since Love-Abound Lyn in February of 2018. She has arrived and completely overshadows all mages that are armored with her sky-high 38 attack. She also has a super boon in this stat, which means that if you pull one with an attack asset, she will have a total of 42 base attack, which only gets higher when she's equipped with her Spooky Sensor Plus tome that raises all of her stats by 3, and of course inflicts 6 HP damage on her after combat. You can say that she has power crept all of the armored mages, but it's been over a year and a half since we've had a new one, so I think it's pretty permissible. Any blue mage can make use of her tome to maximize their stat stacking to help get to Desperation Brazen attack range a lot quicker. However, it is kind of difficult, very difficult, to compete with the Blade Tome builds. Vantage Blade Tome, close counter. It's very strong, and most of the mages with the stats to make good use of this tome already have preferred weapons that work very well with their stats. The animations look pretty sick though, so if you want to pull an Ileana and just stick it on your Mei and flex with that really cool animation, then you do you. Her Attack Rest Gap 3 skill grants attack and rest plus 5 to the ally with the highest attack rest total for one turn, which is pretty liberating when it comes to positioning. It means that you have plus 5 to attack and res to a certain unit anywhere, as they can be as far or close to Ileana as you want them to be. So that's kind of liberating, but at the same time, you're kind of bound to that buff. Let's say you were to be panicked, maybe you're playing an Aether Raids map with there's a panic manner, or you've lost some HP and there's another foe that has a higher HP than you and panic ploy, then you are going to be susceptible to panic so long as you fall underneath that tile within the panic manner, because there's no way to get rid of that buff. So it's a little bit of a give and take. It depends on your playstyle, and it can be really fun to find ways to have Ileana grant attack and res to all 3 or 4 of her allies. Ileana is best suited for not Aether Raids. Should be best suited for Arena Assault to get rid of any red units that don't have the highest resistance. But even at that, she has a very high attack stat, and she comes with Bold Fighter and Iceberg. With her sky high resistance and attack, that Iceberg is going to hit very hard. So you can rest easy when you see a Zelgius or even a Hector. I'm sure she could probably give this new Hector a run for his money.
I see that you're admiring my costume. Take a good long look then.
Next up, we have La Rochelle, looking great in that Dr. Frankenstein-inspired outfit. She is rocking the highest attack stat out of any cavalry mage, not only the green ones. And of course, with her Madness Flask Plus, she receives plus attack, speed, defense, and resistance, while also inflicting 6 damage after combat, which makes it easier for her to get into Brazen Desperation range, which is a very good old faithful combination of skills. However, she has speed and res ruse to kind of change things up. With this skill, she inflicts -5 speed and resistance to her opponents in cardinal directions when she receives or gives a rally. And not only that, but she also inflicts guard, which prevents the enemies from charging up their special cooldown attack. But this may be better on a support unit, not on an offensive unit. Our shell is probably best used in Aether raids. She's a ranged cavalry unit with very high attack, and her Speed Rest Ruse skill can be used advantageously to cripple your enemy before hitting them with the Razzle Dazzle Healer or a hard-hitting mage.
Everyone looks brilliant, but you know, Lady Lorishel shines brighter than them all.
Next, we have Dozla. Now, to be frank, I have not played Sacred Stones, even though I have a +7 Summer Innis. And I have no idea who Dozla is, but I heard his voice lines, and he is a fun and heartwarming character. I love the way he says,
Trick or treat!
The only direct competition Dozla has as an armored colorless dagger unit is Winter Cecilia. But he has a higher attack stat than Cecilia, and Cecilia, her stats make her to be a better tank than Dozla. So in comparing Dozla with other ranged physical armored units, you can see that his stats are most similar to Kagaro's, but they have been keeping them all pretty unique in what they're meant to do. Dozla's weapon is just like the aforementioned weapons, but with dagger debuff included, and it's nice to see even more dagger options. Maybe you might think that Dozla would be best used in Aether raids because of his A skill, but in reality armored units aren't great in Aether raids, at least offensively as far as I'm concerned and based on my experience and what I've heard from other players. If you can find a place for Dozla as a good Aether raids defense unit, let me know. Even though I'm sure by now, if you wanted an armored dagger as part of your Aether raids defense team, you probably already have Winter Cecilia. So with that said, I think Dozla is best off as an arena assault unit.
We're a father-daughter duo, at your service.
At your service!
Finally, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Hector here is back in the game for the 5th time to break the game for the 5th time. He is tied with Keaton for the highest attacking red unit in the game, Super Boon included. He also has the highest BST of any red unit in the game. Of course, we cannot talk about Halloween Hector without mentioning the new game mechanic that promises to be game-breaking. Duo skills. It seems like all the duo skills moving forward after Hector will not have the same effect, but his effect is to inflict 20 damage on all foes within 3 columns centered around him. Hector comes with a weapon called Conjurer Curious, which grants +3 to his already monstrously high attack stat. And if it is an odd number turn or if the foe's HP is below 100, Hector receives an additional +4 to all of his stats during combat. His stats weren't high enough already, so let's just raise them even higher by synergizing with his already game-breaking skill. So imagine that you use the duo skill, lowering your opponent's HP by 20, and you're set to have your stats raised by 4, all of your stats raised by 4. And he also comes with Disencounter, of course, and a new armored exclusive B skill, which is called Odd Follow-Up Attack. Just as its name suggests, he is guaranteed a follow-up attack on odd numbered turns, regardless of HP. So there's no way to stop him during odd numbered turns unless you have Sword of the Creator or no follow-up on the B slot. Now, where does Halloween Hector excel? Well, anywhere. His duo skill also grants him a BST of 185. Even though he's already at 180, it bumps him up an extra bin, so you score even higher in arena. So it's giving the whales another another advantage. And he's also great in Aether raids. There's even a new structure, 2 new structures that are exclusive. You can only have them if you have a duo skill unit. So there's that. Hector will excel at anything. The only thing he's afraid of is probably mages with high attack and armor effective weapons. But other than that, Hector is golden on all game modes.
That's right.
So there you have it. In a nutshell, this banner has units that in some way excel at what they do. Highest attack and rest stat of any armored mage, you got Ileana. The highest attacking cavalry mage, not just green, but cavalry mage, you got La Rochelle, and she has a pretty decent speed stat as well. And the highest attacking colorless dagger, out of 2, we got Dozla. And he also ties with the rest of the colored daggers for highest attack stat, though he has the potential of a higher attack stat with his super boon. Except Picnic Flora has +3 in her preferred weapon. Anyway. And the highest attacking sword unit in the game with the new broken game mechanic, got Hector and Lilina. So should you pull? Well, if you love any of these units, of course you're gonna pull. But if you're new to the game and don't know very much about Fire Emblem, the wise thing to do is wait until the last day this banner is available to see what all of your options are, and then decide if you still want to pull on this banner. As for me, I am going to pull only red up until I run out of tickets. Then after that, I am out. I don't want Hector that bad, and chances are we're going to get plenty of duo units in the future, some of which are going to be legendary and mythic heroes. Do as I say and not as I do. Let's pull on this banner. So, wow, I just accepted the tickets on the presents list, and I didn't expect to get all 5 tickets right away. So that's awesome. Let's dive into this banner. Oh, I'm so excited. Honestly, I wasn't excited for this at all. Okay, so no red orbs here. Let's try for blues. That tome she has and the C skill is pretty interesting to me, so let's see what happens. I just recently finished that quest that they had. But speaking of Ileana, I was hoping that we would somehow get some 3 houses unit during this seasonal banner. So I was hoping for my favorite Golden Deer girl, which is Lysithea. And I thought she'd be perfect for this banner because she's afraid of ghosts and she loves sweets. So I really thought that they would kind of make a play on that. But we got Ileana instead, which is not exactly the same, but design-wise, she seems very similar to Lysithea to me. So we got 2 red orbs here, so we're actually going to spend 4 orbs to see if there's a Hector behind it. So let me know in the comments, which unit are you most excited about? My guess is that it is Hector, or I know there's a lot of La Rochelle fans out there, so maybe La Rochelle? I think those are the 2 most hype units from this banner. Let's see, 3 more tickets. La Rochelle? I think I'm gonna go for La Rochelle because I like I don't have any ruse fodder, so I may go for that. Not La Rochelle. Let's see. Not nervous about this at all. I'm not too crazy about this. Ooh, 2 red orbs. Smoke, will it be? I believe in miracles. Oh. It's Sylvia. So since the data mine shows that there's going to be mythic and legendary heroes with the duo skill, I think that we're going to get a Byleth and Sothis either legendary or mythic duo, because it makes sense. I mean, I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but let's get back in there. Last ticket. None. Well, let's see what we get. Well, I guess that was that. Let me know how your summons went. Are you gonna actually pull for this banner? Or are you going to just use your tickets? Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more Let's Talk About Stats. Thanks for watching. Bye.